All right.
Well, so yeah, today's discussion, the big picture future of the university was the focus today. From your report at the beginning, where you emphasized again the potential budget shortfall that the university is being faced, all the way through to what is the university. What's the ultimate goal here in this big picture look at the, you go first, Dr. Joy.
Regardless of whether we're facing a budget shortfall or not, we want to have a university that operates with a singular focus on achieving the objectives that are part of our Missouri compacts. And so some of the changes we're going to be pursuing to operate in an environment that allows for more collaboration, that allows our students to be more successful and faculty members to be more successful in their research, those are activities we're going to be pursuing regardless of whether we have a budget crisis or not, because that'll make us a stronger university that actually delivers on the promise that we have been making to the citizens of Missouri. And so this is not a process that's going to come with the report and we just have steps. It'll be evolving. Just like when Steve Owens, our general counsel, mentioned in 1967, when that concept of one university was developed, that may have fit the definition at the time, but the underlying goals were to have a more collaborative university with 4 campuses working together. And that's something that I believe we can achieve, and we should achieve.
What do you see as?
I think we're working towards, under Dr. Choi's leadership and the leadership of the campuses, towards a fundamental transformation in the way that we deliver our product and our services to the state of Missouri. We're going to drive more money into the core mission, which is faculty and research and teaching and students. We are going to make this university lean where it needs to be and better where it needs to be better. And we're going to drive that change very hard and collaboratively, but the change is coming. And either we're going to make the change or we are going to be left behind.
What about Curator Phillips' concerns that, and maybe I'm paraphrasing that wrong, that the identity of the individual campuses may be lost in this, that there'd be pushback from alumni of those campuses?
That's not our focus. I mean, our focus is not to minimize or remove the unique characteristics of each of the campuses. For example, campus here right in Raleigh, what they do in science and engineering, and now more and more in other disciplines, are very important. It serves a very important constituency in the state. They produce the most number of engineering and science students that actually lead to economic development in the state of Missouri. That's critical. What they offer in UMKC with their 6-year medical program is one of the hallmarks of that university. That's not something that we want to duplicate at the other campuses, because that's a strength and we should leverage it. But at the same time, are there partnership opportunities where we can consider having automatic admits for outstanding students who attend Raleigh as undergraduates who can get into the medical school at Mizzou and as well as UMKC? These are the types of partnerships that we're seeking. And also, on Wednesday, all of the chancellors and I held what's called the first Summit on cybersecurity, because we have cybersecurity expertise that's unique. In St. Louis, it's mostly towards student experiential learning, whereas the cybersecurity expertise here on this campus is related to how we actually better serve the national intelligence and also national defense. So we brought all of these experts together to talk about the unique aspects that, if combined together, can make for a very compelling program for support by the federal government or with industry. So those are things that we need to be pursuing, and with the system level approach, we can achieve that, as opposed to individual campuses just continue to do what they're doing. While good, they don't realize that the the sum can be greater than its parts.
It's interesting to me in that I certainly respect what Curator Phillips said, and I understand the concern by some of the stakeholders, but what I would envision is actually greater differentiation between the campuses, not less. And my own personal view is that we are making these changes to be able to drive that differentiation. So the exact opposite, really.
Your name?
Yeah.
Casey?
Casey Bayless from Macomb, Missouri.
Yes.
I think it was during one of the presentations where they talked about the two different types of systems. There's, I think it was True System and Flagship.
Mhm.
Would the task force goal,
Mhm.
would that be to move to a certain type of system, or just transition like?
So what we,
I think, yeah, because I think that's been discussed, but I think the decision has been made that, and that is what I heard the board say, is that we are a system and that the general structure is being maintained, that we have to flesh out exactly what we mean by that.
and so, yes, we're a system. What I heard as a sentiment of the board is that we are not a flagship model, and that's not a model we're going to pursue. But within the system concept, there are many variations in terms of the interactions between the system office and the campus office. And what I heard today is that the curators are looking for proactive leadership. Obviously, leadership that's not top down from the system, but also leadership that's not passive at the system either. That together with the president, general officers, and the curators, we want to contribute to the activities that the campuses want to pursue in those three Missouri compacts. So that's what we're going to be deciding over the next few months.
Okay. And then the one university rule that was written in 1967.
Mhm.
How long has this conversation been where you want to, like, I guess, transition or implement their, I guess, shared services with the entry system?
Well, there's a great deal of shared services currently, especially in finance, HR, procurement is shared services. For example, all of the bookstores that are at the campuses are operated as a system. So there are many things that we have been pursuing that we have benefited from that makes us operate more efficiently. But for us to overcome that $160 million deficit, if we do nothing else between now and 2023, we do need to have a transformation. But what does that transformation mean? Well, we want to hear from our constituents. That's why we had this meeting today. And so the task force will take that input from the constituents, and there'll be other meetings where we get feedback from the constituents about it.
Wish I could see if anyone's on the phone.
Yes. Is there anyone on the phone?
Someone did chime in.
Okay.
Anybody there? Report them.
Rudy,
I'm here, but I have a question.
Okay.
who are you from? Kansas City?
Yes, Hillary Johnson from KCUR.
Okay.
Oh, from KCUR. Yes.
So, on a slightly different topic, the MU Healthcare is probably going to record operating surplus in excess of $100 million this year. The growth has been so strong that I could probably put a trend line out to where the healthcare has a larger budget than all other operations of the university combined, perhaps within a few years. Is the university in danger at all of becoming less, a university attached to a healthcare system? And should that, is that, or is the growth of the healthcare system to that extent in any way a concern of yours?
I think it has to be a managed growth. There's no question about that. But I would not extrapolate based on the success that the MU Healthcare has had to predict what it's going to be 5 years from now, because so much of their operation is dictated by the payment schedule and the healthcare policies in the United States. But their goal is very singular, to provide the highest care, highest level care that's affordable that's also informed by research, both basic science and clinical research. And so while that operation may continue to grow, we need to keep in mind that we are training medical students who are going to be performing, who are going to be practicing in Missouri for the most part, and also that our faculty members are also performing research that's going to create new innovations like what we've seen with the Missouri Orthopedics Institute and biojoints. That's what makes academic healthcare centers so special. And so we need to keep the focus on the academics and research as we grow healthcare.
I'd like to comment on that because actually the existence of the health center today is one reason why it is so important to have a coordinated system that helps all campuses. Their addition to the balance sheet and to the bottom line and the strengthening of our bond capacity and issues like that goes to the benefit of every campus right now. The cost of borrowing, particularly for UMKC or UMSL, is significantly less because of the strength of the health center. They are a very important part of why we are more than the sum of our parts.
You had an update today on the number of, before it was the number of student applications actually, and today was the number of accepts.
Mhm.
I just want to clarify what is that students that are accepted to the university?
Yeah, students who accepted their admission to the university. So they've written a check, their deposit check, to say that they're coming to the university. The deadline for that acceptance is on May 1st. So where we are now in terms of acceptances, we're about 150 students higher than where we were May 1st of last year.
August 1st.
Oh, it's even better. Yeah, thank you. But we still have more work to do between now and August 1st to ensure that we minimize the summer melt. That's going to be key. And we still have a couple of thousand students who've been admitted who've not yet accepted or declined our offer. And so Dr. Pelama Morris and his team are really actively working on converting those students to come to the university. I'm also very pleased that the percentage of underrepresented minority students have increased dramatically this year. And so, very pleased about that.
And if I can just add, Casey, we're going to have an official announcement following the May 1 deadline. We'll have an official announcement, and hopefully we'll give additional information about what we have for deposits. And we did that very similar thing last year. So,
And how often does that number correlate to the actual enrollment numbers for freshmen?
Summer notes do change, but typically it can be anywhere from 1% to 5%. We want to keep it closer to 1%.
Although there are additions too.
There are, yes. Students are still coming in. Also, when we talk about enrollment, it's not just going to be freshmen. We have to look at the growth in transfer student enrollment as well. Rudy? That's it?
All right, start without me, so
That's
we're
it?
going to go on in.
All right. Thank you.